the play? Let's hang, let's chill, throw some meat on the grill. Tell us the updates while heavy lifts weight. G-Cloud and the leads to tell us of mighty deeds. Office hours is today. What's the alpha? What's the play? New things we may learn. For max fees we earn. One thing you can be sure, the LP Army will enjoy. G-Cloud and the leads to tell us of mighty deeds. Office hours is today. What's the alpha? What's the play? New things we may learn. For max fees we earn. One thing you can be sure, the LP Army will enjoy. G-Cloud and the leads to tell us of mighty deeds. Office hours is today. What's the alpha? What's the
G-Met.
G-Met, what's going on?
Dad, what's going on?
Not too much, man. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's doing all right this fine Sunday afternoon, evening. I guess it's almost Monday, or maybe it is Monday on the other
For some people.
Yeah, I think it
It's
is.
still morning here.
So, anyways, it's gonna be a pretty chill office hours today. Not too much going on. Not any major announcements. Although I guess we do have one announcement to make. That GoFundMe is now using Meteora for their graduation. So that's great to hear. Another launch platform that's using Meteora to launch their tokens that make it out of their graduation. So that's a pretty cool thing. You can see the announcement on the Meteora X site, and the GoFundMe site is right there, gofundmeme.io, if you guys want to check it out.
Cool.
And that was really about it. I think there was a minor update to the UI. They added a search bar on the main page. Other than that, no other major updates to the site this week. So we did have a community call on Thursday. First one that we did via StreamYard/X/YouTube. So I think going forward, we're going to do the same. And I don't know, I think I'd like to flip the community calls and office hours, do office hours during the week, and then the community call on the weekends, just because that's a little bit easier for me, because I do have a day job. HMC has a day job. So meeting in the middle of the week can be challenging for us. So, actually, we got a question. All right. So in a DLMM pool, what's the meaning of operator and position owner roles? Can operator role be used to more securely reposition liquidity without the owner wallet? Where can we find out more details? I'm not really sure. I haven't seen that operator role in the UI. I don't even recall having seen that in the SDK. So I'm not sure if maybe, Dan, you might be using a third-party tool, or if you're using the actual Meteora website. Maybe you can provide a little bit more context behind the question. Gosha, what's going on?
Hey, not much, not much. We're in the kind of slow, slowly. I think focusing more on community now, and basically not helping too much. But I did take your advice about GLP. I think you showed your GLP positions,
Yeah,
and you know, um, long ago when I started doing Meteor, I think it was my first kind of small step getting from the stable coin position. It was literally, I think, like a year ago, maybe even more than a year. I stepped into GLP, and I'm doing it now as well. Uh, Basically, um, trying to uh, get used to more slowly growing um, LP, and
yeah,
I think it's going okay.
cool. Yeah, I like JLP Soul because there's high correlation between JLP and Soul, and so the impermanent loss isn't too bad as long as Soul isn't going super crazy. But yeah, if you can set the right range, Soul JLP.
I'm actually doing GLP USDC.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I think it's more tricky, but I think we talked about it once. I don't really like buying crypto, but GLP has like this kind of an upside, which is not like not entirely related to uh, price action, and I feel more confident. Yeah, and it is also partially also just USDC in its composition. So I'm kind of feel when I want to buy a bit, I'm kind of feeling um, kind of DCing into crypto using GLP pools and feeling more comfortable this way. And more on the topic of office hours, I think the update where we had this like previews of the position, like in the position itself. I think
Yeah,
it really shows how helpful it is when you are not actively LPing but just taking a glance, uh, two times a day. I think I'm looking at my positions, and I think this is really helpful. And I remember Alexei, the team member who is who is responsible for the design. Um, he asked me about them. Like he showed me different kind of variations of how it can be implemented,
mm,
and I was really I thought to myself that like this curve being custom, so like actually showing my custom position will be really complicated to do. And I think like okay, if it's just like a line which is like showing a spot line, even if I have that position, I think it's also already perfect. But they did this custom position so quickly. So yeah, I think in terms of UI, it was like a very very nice update.
yeah. No, I love the the little mini distributions. It's very, very nice. Really easy to see where the position is, especially if you got a lot of positions open. If you're in a smaller
Yeah,
UST
yeah.
pool, so
Uh,
um,
by by the way, I just wanted to do a little update. I think we just if anyone listening have submitted an application for fee printers, we just an hour ago we basically wrapped up checking the wallets, and I think team will make an announcement. I don't know when, but soon for you to actually start receiving the kind of this relief.
oh, that's great
Yep.
news. I know.
That's
I know
cool.
Alex has been working hard to
Yeah,
gather the
yeah, we
data, and I know you've been working hard verifying accounts and everything else. So that's great news. I'm glad to hear that.
Awesome. It's awesome, Gosha.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Um, yeah. Actually, going back to what you were talking about with JLP and USDC, um, I uh, I like doing LPing in that pair too, and you can even do it in a one bin step pool, and it it doesn't swing too crazy. And yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's good to have the upside potential of JLP, and I think it tends to be a lot less volatile than Sol or Jupe or any of the other tokens. So yeah, it's a great place to kind of park things and kind of stay in the game a little bit when when things are a little uncertain with markets.
Yeah, I like what we're LPing an LP token. So we're receiving yield from LPing it, and it's also growing because it's basically an LP for perps trading. So kind of double LPing.
Yeah, exactly. So Dan said it's describing
I respond. You can just get on the Discord and ask in the developer support.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. That's a good call.
That's the best thing here.
Yeah, and you can provide some details there. Somebody will hopefully respond and check it out. If I get a chance to go in there and I see your note and I get a chance to, if you can provide maybe some links to the documentation you're looking at, that might help too.
So here, Divine Jonah confused how this whole stuff works. What's the main basis? How exactly does it work? And then a follow-up question: setting a range between 139 and 200. If you set the how am I making profit? So, it's really kind of takes a long time to explain how Meteor works and everything in a nutshell. But this is what's great about our LP Army boot camps, which the next one is happening March 15th and 16th from 2:30 p.m. UTC to 4:30 p.m. UTC on both days. I'm going to make an announcement later today in the Discord announcement channel about that. And so it's a 4-hour course that we're going to take you from the very beginning into a little bit more advanced. And everything should make sense there. But how are you making? I mean, the nutshell is when you set a range, you're making profit off of fees incurred by trades that come through the pool. That's it in a nutshell, right? And that's probably not that helpful of information, but like I said, we can't have a whole boot camp right here. I would recommend doing that. You can also go onto YouTube and watch previous boot camps, but we'll have live sessions next weekend here on StreamYard.
Yeah, basically what's happening behind the scenes is people are actually swapping with the capital that you provide, right? So the capital that you provide and other people are providing in that particular pool, and swaps are going through those. And when swaps go in and out, the price of the pools is going up and down. So the one thing you have to be aware of, if you set a wide range, and basically if you do 50-50, right? So you've got half Sol, half USDC. If the price of Sol really goes down, if the price of Sol goes all the way down to 139, it's like half of your Sol has gone down in that value as well, right? But you've accumulated more Sol in that process too, right? So that some of the USDC you had initially, it's going to flip all to Sol. So, so that's really, if you really want to make profit, the best way to make profit is if it just ranges and it doesn't go up a whole lot in price, doesn't go down a whole lot in price, kind of just stays within your range. And if it stays within your range, the longer it stays within your range, the more you're going to print in fees. But if the price really tanks, goes way down, then you're going to be losing overall value in your total position. So right now, where Sol has been, kind of ranging from 130 to 150. If you've been in a range like that for the past week or so, you've probably printed some pretty decent fees, and your capital is probably more or less about the same as what it was before. Hopefully that helps explain a little bit. Yeah, looking forward to boot camp. Actually, unfortunately, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna be in the middle of a racetrack, in Sebring, Florida.
You get run over that way.
Yeah, it's 12-hour race,
Wow.
on Saturday. It's a endurance race. The IMSA, International Motorsports Association, they have a circuit that it's a Le Mans and GT circuit, and it's pretty cool. It's like 4 races happening at the same time because they've got 4 different classes of cars. So they got like 2 GT classes and then 2 Le Mans classes, and they're all racing around the track at the same time. It's pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So looking forward to that. So I'm not gonna make the community call this week either.
Alrighty.
Or maybe I'll pop on for like 5 minutes so you guys can hear race cars and see some.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
If my connection works, because usually it's pretty shitty.
Uh,
Because there's like so many people there.
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, ooh,
Yeah, we did talk about GoFundMe. So as I understand it, it's just another Launchpad similar to
pump that fun or
Pump That Fun or Moonshot.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more about funding a particular project or whatever.
yeah. There is info out there on X about it. I haven't actually used it myself.
Yeah, I haven't used it either, to be honest.
So it's kind of quiet today.
It is kind of quiet. I was thinking today was going to be kind of a quiet office hours. Maybe we can end it early, especially since it's late for some folks overseas. Although
Yeah.
actually, let's see. Are we later than normal, or are we at our normal time? Are we at normal time globally?
Well, I think it's normal time
I think
globally.
it's overall normal time.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, we changed our clocks forward today here in the US. It's really annoying. I wish they would stop doing it. I don't like it. I don't like losing the hour. I like it when I get it back in the fall and I can sleep in, but I don't like having to get up an hour earlier.
Well, they've talked 1,000 times about getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I even saw Trump talking about that. He's like, it's a 50-50 thing because some people want it, some people don't, or some people want, to go to the more daylight at this time or move the hour here, move it there. You'll never make everybody happy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, nobody knows.
I know in Florida they were trying to make daylight time the permanent time, and to do that it literally takes an act of Congress. There are jurisdictions that stay on standard time. I think Arizona, they stay on standard time the whole year. But if you want to stay in daylight time, it literally takes an act of Congress, which is kind of stupid, but
yeah, it is. Yeah.
So is it possible to set a range 100% well in order to make profit? Well, there's so you can use a dynamic pool if you want. Dynamic pools are infinite range. So, but the thing with dynamic pools is it's not capital efficient, right? It's not concentrated liquidity. So if the price is within a fairly steady range, kind of like Sol has been with USDC, then you're going to have all this capital that's not being used, so you're not going to earn as much in fees.
I think the answers to this question should be no.
Yeah, I mean, not in DLMM, but you can.
I mean,
with
I think he asked about like, is it possible to do a range where you will? I'm not sure, but I think he does like So you will profit like for sure. If that's your question when Leon says I think that's no. You have a risk of losing money in any range you set.
Yeah,
However, even if you set a range for Sol to $10, it can if it is less than $10, you will lose money. So it should be you should judge yourself what range you think is more is better. And in dynamic IMMs, you can. And I'm not sure. I'm not. I think you should also kind of pay attention to what you do. Of course, there's no range for it, mm, but still, if you go if you go on a price wise too high, you may not enjoy too much fees and the tokens will depreciate. So just go to a bootcamp as I think was as heavy said to you, and I think you will get a lot of useful information there.
yeah, for sure. And there's recordings out there of past boot camps to take a look at as well. So that's always a good idea too. But yeah, you can't. There's no range you can set that's going to guarantee you profit. That's if that was possible, everybody would set that range.
Right. Yeah. Bootcamp is great. Thanks. Lucrative.
It is.
I don't know if, I mean, hopefully everybody's heard about and checked out the new LP Army community Discord.
Yes.
If you haven't, go check that out. And it's a great place to go, especially after you've graduated boot camp, where you'll just a lot of tools, trading plays, just information. You can talk about what's hot and what's not. But yeah,
it's basically modeled right after the Goose DAO and has a lot of the same tools as the Goose DAO. So it's definitely a great place to be and hang out with other liquidity providers, get some tips and give
and
out
a lot
tips.
and a lot of the Goose Gang guys running that. So you've got some top degens in there helping people out, and of course check them out on X, which we're actually streaming to the Meta LP Army X today for the first time. In addition to in addition to the official Meteora, so
awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, it's always someone new, but right on. No, this is not boot camp. That will be next weekend, March 15th and 16th, from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. UTC. Both days I'll make an announcement in the main channel, announcement channel. So yeah. No, we don't send forms. We don't share forms. We want you to watch the boot camp. This is not boot camp. This is just office hours. People are asking questions and we're talking about product updates. It's not that at all. So yeah. I don't know if I lost my train of thought here.
What have you been DLMing this week?
Almost nothing. I have been so deep in dealing with boot camp forms. I mean, we had 4 in February, and I finally got it all done. Nice. But I'm still having to deal with some aftermath, some rechecks. But I mean, I issued the roles for all 4. We'll get the graduation certificate sent out here probably in a week or so. I'm trying to get faster with that, but this one's gonna take me a hot minute because I gotta collate everything. I've improved my systems, but I improved my process in the middle of it. So the stuff I did in the beginning, I've got to do some more work to get everything consolidated. to get the wallets over. But yeah, what if I deal I'm in? I'm just in my regular, like, I'm always doing NOS.
Is there volume on that still?
Right now, not so much. I mean, I did have a day where, like, for one day there was some volume, and I made like $30. I was like, okay, cool. But it's still, for me, it's just like, it's a very, very long. I've been in it for over a year.
Nice.
So, and I'm just staking that token. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get paid, it's not the pool for you. This is a believer project token pool.
Yeah.
You got to believe, man. But
I'm still JLP Sol. Has been JLP Sol and JLP USDC. It's kind of where I've been hanging out. I did mess around a little bit with Please. I did, got some decent fees on it. I've been, basically just bid asking it and going underneath the price, and eventually it'll retrace and get some decent fees. Here's a good question here. Going in one-sided with Sol bid ask, will you only make profit if the token is going down? Well, you'll only make fees if the token's going down, right? Because if you're on one side, you need the price to go down into where your liquidity is, right? Which is Sol. So you do need the price to go down. The goal is that as the price is going down, it's oscillating a little bit, right? So it's kind of going up and down as it's going down, right? So the long-term trend is downward, but you also have moments where it retraces back upwards a little bit. So if it does that enough, you're going to generate enough fees to overcome any impermanent loss as the price goes down.
And hopefully it pumps eventually and you can flip it over.
Yeah. So you basically want it to go down into your range for a bit, but yeah, like HMC says, ideally it goes down into your range and then pumps back out, and then you're back to all the Sol that you started with, and you've got Sol and the other token in fees to keep.
Yep. This is ideal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have any thoughts on this one, on that URC token so much, and in general, pools with incentives. Well, I mean, pools with incentives is cool. It's bonus money. It's neat. It's the incentives, which is, you don't see it very often anymore. I remember you used to see them like a year ago. You'd find all kinds of pools that had emissions, if you will, giving out, if you had liquidity and range, it was giving you some tokens as a reward for providing liquidity, and how much you got depended on how much was available and how much liquidity you were providing, and if you were in range, and all these things. So it was like free money in a way, kind of. But it's less common anymore, and it's entirely dependent upon the project providing that token, and so they'll say, okay, we're going to put in 2 million or whoever amount of this, and that'll be for like 1 week, right? And if the emissions run out before the week is up, well, then it stops, right? Until the next, like, say Sunday or whatever, when it starts. And that'll go until like it runs out, or the time amount set on it, and it's dependent on that team to either refill it or extend the time or whatever. But it's a neat incentive. I've seen it sometimes. People will put that out on a thing, and the token or the pool wasn't all that great to begin with. So it's not much. I've seen other stuff where it's like, dude, you're earning money on top of money, and it's awesome. You see this as well in the dynamic pools farms. And the same thing, the emissions, it all depends on whether or not that token project is providing. And a lot of our farms right now are not rewarding anything because those token projects have not chosen to refill those farms with those rewards. It is what it is. Like even like Soul V Soul, that one it had rewards for a while and then it stopped, and I think it started back up again. Um, you're earning vault points for which, I mean, you want to know about that? Check out that project. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think in general it's it's interesting because you're actually getting a stable coin as an incentive, which is fairly different than a lot of the other projects out there that provide rewards. Because with other projects, there tends to be a dilutive effect. Like I remember when Step was, they were doing all kinds of reward emissions in their pools, and I think even Radium early on. And a lot of times those rewards tend to have a dilutive effect, meaning that there's just more of the token circulating, and then people are when they receive their token rewards, what do they do with it? Well, they dump it and they swap it for Sol or USDC or whatever. So it tends to have a lot of downward pressure on the token. But with Euro Circle, that's not so much the case, being that it's a stable coin. So I think from that perspective, it's kind of an interesting idea to have rewards for those pools. So yeah, if you're interested in providing liquidity on Euro C, I definitely would recommend taking advantage of those incentives. Go ahead, Gosha.
Yeah, I actually played a bit with both pools, which give URC rewards, and I think like I'm not really very patient with my stables, and whenever I need a gentleman pool because I'm kind of very anxious about setting the right range, and I think now I don't really know, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Before this, like a year ago, when we had a lot of incentives everywhere, like you receive like a stable amount, like you receive a stable amount, like each like if you're in range, we just accumulate. And now I think if I'm not mistaken, you have your like incentives are like commissioned when you have swaps. So basically you when you earn more fees, you earn more incentives. And for URC, so Euro USD pool, it was quite a lot, and I think it is performing quite okay. Of course, like right now, the dollar is a bit volatile towards euro, and euro is volatile. So, but there's not a lot of volume on this pool because not a lot of people want to, at least for now, to hold this coin. And especially it's not very good in the Sol pool because in this like you need to you're dependent on a lot of volume going through it, and on it doesn't really go through this pool because not a lot of people are swapping into euro. But in the stable one, I think if you set your range right and you want to try it, it's a really big bonus. Like it's like uh, like kind of big bonus on this fee which you will receive. So
Yeah,
not bad.
especially good for folks who live in Europe, right? So nice for them to have their assets in their local currency if they want.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. What do you think, HMC? We call it a short one today. I had a feeling it was going to be a little bit light today with not too many announcements and not too much going on in the
I mean,
UI this week. New stuff.
yeah, it's fine with me. It's quiet, not too many questions today.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, if any questions do arise, you can always go to the Discord. Oh, we got one more question from Lucrative Desires. Let's see what we got. Drum roll. Let's see what we got.
I'm assuming they're typing. There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
Bid and ask with Sol as I see a token going down, then spot as it ranges. Well, that's one strategy.
Yeah, definitely
mean,
a good idea.
That is a thing about, yeah. I mean, and that's one reason why people stack that. They'll lay down a layer of spot is in addition to that bid ask, because they put that spot in there because if the token does range, you still want to get some fees, because obviously on the smaller end of your bid ask, you're not getting much of anything at all because you have so little liquidity there. So that is the reason why people will put that layer of spot, is if it does range. But you're still kind of protecting yourself if it goes way down, in a sense. So yeah, that's one thing. And some people will even, like, they just start out with that bid ask, hopes that it goes down so that they earn some of the other token, and then turn it all into a pure spot. If they really think that it's gonna sit in this range, and it may or it may not. You know, but yeah, it's one strategy that you can try for sure.
Yeah. And then if you think it's gonna range back the other way, you just do a bid ask instead
Right.
of a spot when you
Yeah,
remove the liquidity,
flip
put it
it
back
over.
in. So flip it back the other way. So when it goes up, then you're going back up in value.
So LP Army, I mean, you can get LP Army private by attending a boot camp. We'll post that information in the announcement channel. You have to graduate boot camp to get that. You earn LP Army private. Regular LP Army is those who make significant contributions to Meteora, the LP Army. It's very hard to get. It's more of an honor, anything. Nobody knows the answer to this question. When do we plan airdrop? Well, the conversation hasn't even started. It's something that's figured out together as a community. I would say to you, just keep LPing, keep earning fees, and when it happens, it happens. But the team has got to decide when we start the conversation, and so then it can be figured out what it's going to look like.
Yep.
So nobody has the answer to that.
Someone's asking about a Goose DAO list. I think you can go to Goose DAO Twitter and just like, first of all, you can DM Mario, I think, or you can DM me if you want. So we can figure it out. We have a list, like, in a group, so we can share if you need it for some reason. If you need it for something, like actually for something, we will share it. And you can also go to Twitter and search through, like, what accounts a Goose DAO account is subscribed to. And if you and of course, I think it's not an exhaustive list, and there's also people who are not members, but you will basically get the idea.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you should be able to look at the collection as well, right, and see who has the Goose DAO NFT.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
something else that I did
least
in
wallet.
the most recent version of the bootcamp resources, which is pinned in the bootcamp channel on our Discord, the Meteora Discord, that is. The last page of the bootcamp resources actually listed X accounts of several people, not necessarily Goose, but a lot of them are Goose, but people who are actually posting, like, educational content, things that are helpful, like, here's a short thing on how to deal with impermanent loss, or here's the sawtooth strategy. People who are posting things like that, not just wins, but actually helpful information. So, I made that list. Feel free to go check that out. Again, it's pinned in the boot camp channel on the Meteora main Discord.
Yep. All right.
I think that's probably good enough.
Sounds good, man.
Yep. Been over just an hour. So,
All right.
all right, guys. Well,
All right,
thanks.
guys. Enjoy
Thanks,
the rest of your
Gosha.
weekend. Have a great
Keep-
week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. In a pool of meteor, watch me swim, swap a bed, I just keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Depth pool, got a fight in it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLM man, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like whoa, talking about slippage, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in this pizza, they get fees, a little bacon, start the vault until the cheese is done. Fools are paying me like I don't even go to beach, I'd rather be here on a feed or something. Best believe it's decent, wavy when I see secret chillin' in the deep end with it. Every weekend, see me, you can depend on it, cause I mean it. Coming up, you can even find a way to flood it up. You done enough, 10% stimulate and run it up. Point system looking like a fine where they won't miss a solid contribution. Could've pointed out enough. I met up with Matt, had a really good chat. He's telling me bet up your army does laps, that orbit does this media's headed when no one's expecting and we watching it happen, hey. In a pool of meteor, watch me swim, swap a bed, I just keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Depth pool, got a fight in it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLM man, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like whoa, talking about slippage, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in this pizza, they get peas, a little bacon, start the ball until the cheese